Hello, Hank Brigman here with your video touch pointer. Today, question 6. How do we implement? What is our implementation model? The implementation model I advocate has 4 steps. Assess, plan, operationalize, and measure. Let's look at each of the 4. Assess. Here I advocate what I call a customer experience audit. We're going to audit the customer journey. We're going to audit the 3 customer centricity competencies. We're going to audit our customer experience strategy, where we stand on that, and we're going to audit the 5 organizational success factors. So let's look at each of those. The customer journey. What we want to look at here is our holistic journey from suspect to prospect to customer to hopefully a loyal or advocate. And what we're looking for here is low-hanging fruit. This isn't a deep dive into the journey. We're looking at where are our current pain points with our customers, because what we want to do is surface the low-hanging fruit. Look at the early opportunities that we can attack, that we can apply our efforts to, that will generate early wins with our customers, early wins with our employees, and early wins that move needles. So that's our audit of the customer journey. The second audit is how we're doing across the 3 customer centricity competencies, and we covered those in an earlier touch pointer. I have 38 factors I look at across those 3 competencies: identity, define and live; intelligence, get the right information to the right people at the right time; and consistency, standardizing touch points. Next, we want to audit our customer experience strategy, and we covered that in the previous touch pointer. We want to understand where we are on our foundations and other aspects of that strategy, because our customer experience plan will be geared to achieve our customer experience strategy. And lastly, we're going to audit the 5 organizational customer experience success factors. These success factors we'll be covering in a future touch pointer. So that's the assess step. The second step is plan. Here we're going to develop our customer experience management plan. And there are a couple important aspects. First, our plan is to achieve our customer experience strategy. So part of our plan is how we're going to develop or define or really capture that strategy. Secondly, we need to align our organization across the 4 key questions. I call them the 4 S's. Scope. Are our customer experience efforts going to be focused on just a department or the entire organization? That's the scope question. Scale. Are our efforts going to be focused on problems, specific customer experience problems? And oftentimes that's the case. We have an issue where we're not doing well, we need to improve it, we're going to attack that, we're going to improve it, and that's going to be essentially the focus of our efforts. Or, under scale, is it going to be cultural? Is our goal with customer experience to really build a defendable competitive advantage, to use that as a differentiator, to bake it into our DNA? That's scale. The third S is sequence. Are we going to implement our customer experience efforts speed-based or fact-based? And this is important. Speed-based means as we gather our intelligence, as we build the intelligence competency of the right information to the right people at the right time, we're also going to be implementing. We're going to be working to improve touch points and improve experiences. So we're going to do those concurrently. That's speed-based. We need those early wins to build momentum, etc. Fact-based is we're going to gain this intelligence first before we start to implement. We're going to do our voice of customer, we're going to capture our macro metric, we're going to do our listening post, and we're going to understand where the issues are, we're going to understand what our foundations need to be, and then we bake them into all of our efforts. Both can work. You need to understand which is best for the culture of your organization, and the organization needs to align around whether we're going to work speed-based or fact-based. And lastly, the 4th S is success. How are our customer experience efforts going to be measured? How is our success going to be defined? Is it soft measurements like improving Net Promoter Score or Customer Satisfaction Index? Or is it going to be hard in terms of improving revenue, improving profits? Soft or hard, we need to understand how our success is going to be measured. Those are the 4 S's. So our plan is to achieve our customer experience strategy. Part of it is to align across those 4 S's, and in addition, certainly around logistics. How are we going to then implement and achieve this strategy? And part of that comes into our 3rd step of the model, which is operationalize. Here we want to build what I call, or establish what I call, a customer council. There's a lot about that in the book. That's a cross-functional group that can have some oversight over our customer experience efforts. It needs to be truly organic, our efforts, and that means engaging the entire organization. And key to our operational efforts are these workshops where we are mapping customer experiences, we're identifying individual touch points and mapping them, we're evaluating them, and then we're going to design new and better touch points. We're going to implement those touch points and measure the results. Those mapping workshops I call valued touchpoint workshops because our goal is to establish value in the touch points, both for our customers and for our organization. A lot in the book about valued touchpoint workshops, and in fact, the next touch pointer is going to be exclusively about how to conduct a valued touchpoint workshop. So that's operationalize. Our fourth step in the model is measure. Here we're going to establish our macro metric, that relationship metric that tells us how we're doing with our customers on the macro whole journey. Whether it's Net Promoter Score or the American Customer Satisfaction Index, Forrester has a great measurement, Bruce Timken's group has a great measurement. We need to choose a good macro metric and have everybody in our organizations understand how we're doing, how we're performing on a relationship basis with our customers. That's the macro part. Then we need a listening post. Along our customer journey, we need to listen at key touch points and key experiences, gain that intelligence so we can then work tactically to focus on improving those and through that improve our macro metric. In my book, I also include a formula for correlating macro metric movement to top line revenue. And this can be really important, especially if our measure of success is hard. So those are the 4 steps of the implementation model I advocate. Assess, where we're going to audit our customer experience efforts. Plan, where we're going to develop our customer experience strategy and align on those 4 questions. Operationalize, where we're going to establish a customer council and certainly work on the logistics of our valued touchpoint workshops, mapping and improving touch points across the organization. And fourth, we're going to measure our macro relationship measurement and also listening posts along the customer journey. That's how we're going to implement. That's the implementation model. That's the answer to question 6 in our series. Remember, to your customers, you are your touch points. If you have any questions about these issues or if we can help at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, we love this stuff and would welcome your inquiries either by phone or by email. I'm Hank Brigman. Thank you and enjoy.